So I almost went to jail. Alright, so there's more to the story. Let me explain. When we were new to reselling, we started putting the word out there that we were buyers. And here's what happened. I'm laying in bed and I get a text on my phone around 7:30 in the morning. And it's pictures of those Beats by Dre headphones. And it's a guy saying, hey, I've got 7 pairs of these high-end headphones. Would you be interested in buying them? Obviously, my first response was, these things are probably fake, right? Because there's so many fakes out there. So I text them back and I was like, yeah, I would be interested. Where did you get them? 20 minutes later, I get a reply back and it says, well, I won a $2,000 gift card in a raffle. And I used those to buy these headphones, and now I just want to get rid of them to make some money. So anyway, I agreed to meet with the guy. I figured I would just go look at the headphones, still figuring, I don't know, they might be fake. But so I show up to meet this guy, and I'm looking through these headphones, and they're perfect, right? High-end, straight retail, still saran wrapped. And I offer the guy $500 for 7 pairs. And these aren't the cheap ones. These are like the wireless Bluetooth high-end Beats headphones. He accepted my offer, done and done. I pick up the headphones, take them away, and we're good to go. So here's where the story gets kind of interesting. I take the headphones, I actually sell a pair to one of my good friends on the way home for $200, and I make a lot of my money back just on that. So it's Friday when I pick these things up. The rest of them I list on eBay, and they're sold by Saturday, except for 1 pair. Okay, so I already made like $1,000 on these things, but I wanted to sell this last pair. It just wasn't selling on eBay. It was kind of like one of those obscure pairs. It was a purple one. I don't know. Anyway, so what I figured I would do is I just posted it on Craigslist for sale on that Saturday. Well, Sunday, I got a text message saying, hey, I'm interested in the headphones. You have them listed at $140. Will you take $130? Obviously, I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll take $130. Meet me at the mall tomorrow morning, and we'll do the deal. Done and done. Okay, so the next morning, we wake up, and I'm like, hey, Allie, I just got to go to the mall real quick to do this deal. Now, we had done these a bunch of times, met in person to sell stuff, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So Allie's like, hey, no problem. I'll run with you. We'll grab some food at the mall because we're meeting in the food court, and then we'll go about our day. So anyway, get to the mall. I get a text message from the person who wants the headphones. They're like, hey, I'm sitting across from Chick-fil-A. You'll see me at the table with my girlfriend. And I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So we show up, got the headphones in a plastic bag, walk up to the table, pull out the headphones, and I give them to the girl. She's looking them over. She's like, okay, looks good. You said 130, will you take 120? And I was like, no, I already dropped the price $10, it's 130. So she's like, okay, no problem. She reaches into her bag and pulls out her purse to get the cash. Then all of a sudden, boom, she pulls out a police badge and she goes, I'm a police officer, you're in trouble. And at that point, we literally, it was like a drug sting. We got rushed in the mall by like 5 other cops. They surrounded us and they were like, you need to sit down right now. So at this point, Allie and I are like, what is going on? This is crazy. Actually, the first thing that popped into my head was you're not allowed to sell Beats headphones. Maybe the brand is protected and there's a lot of fakes going around. So, and listen, at this time, I am wearing like a tank top. I have a bunch of tattoos. I basically look like a criminal, right? So I'm scared. I've never been in trouble with the police in my life, and Allie obviously hasn't either. So we sit down at the table and they call over this guy. And listen, no offense to police officers, but this guy walks over looking like a typical douchey cop, right? He's got the mustache and he's fat. I don't know. Anyway, so he sits down and he goes, I'm Detective blah and blah blah. You guys are in big trouble. And we're like, okay, what's going on? And the guy goes, well, you're in possession of stolen property. Now at this point, I start to get kind of serious, right? So the guy is sitting in front of me. There's a bunch of cops around us. I don't know what's happening. So we sit down and we're like, listen, before you say anything, we need to know exactly what's going on to find out if we need to call a lawyer, or get some legal help, or you need to tell us exactly what's going on. Because the guy sat down and he was literally like bombarding us with questions. And I was like, listen, I'm not answering anything until you tell me what is going on. So come to find out, the guy tells us that there's been a local robbery and that exact pair of headphones was stolen. And then they start pulling out like security camera footage showing this guy like dressed in all black with a ski mask on. Literally, he smashed the window of a Verizon store and like grabbed a bunch of these headphones and bounced, right? And I'm like, listen, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. But you couldn't see the guy's face in the pictures anyway, so it could have easily have been me. So anyway, the next thing I do is I ask the cop, hey, listen, if I can prove that I bought these from a guy, I am a reseller and I bought them from another person who told me that they weren't stolen, what happens? And the cops are like, well, listen, if you have a way to prove that, you better show us right now. So I turn my phone over. I'm like, listen, here's the text message conversation. Here's the guy's phone number. You can clearly see the cop grabs my phone and like looks through the conversation. And then at that point, that's when things kind of start to chill, right? And he's like, okay, still doesn't say like you guys are free to go or anything. And I'm thinking, listen, we had 6 other pairs of these headphones that we've already made $1,000 on. What's going to happen? Like, those have already been sold. Do I have to pay that money back? So I'm still, even though I'm a little bit less tense now about going to jail, I'm still kind of freaking out about losing $1,000. So the cops are, looking at stuff, and finally they go, okay, clearly you guys are not in the wrong. They ran our IDs and they saw that we didn't have a record and all that stuff. So they go, finally, this is probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes into this, in the food court. People are watching. It was incredibly embarrassing. Anyway, so they're looking at us, looking through the text messages, and finally they go, okay, you guys are clearly not in the wrong. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take down this guy's phone number. Obviously, we're going to be keeping the set of headphones as evidence, so I lost $130 there. But I asked them about the other ones that we sold, and they were like, no, it's fine. You don't have to pay anything back on that. Just if we ask you any questions about this guy in the future, will you let us know if you know any more information? And I was like, obviously yes, okay, because I'm not, we're not criminals. We obviously don't want to buy stolen goods, so we were happy to help the cops out at that point. Anyway, so they were like, okay, go on, go about your business, and we did. We left them all. So a week goes by, and I'm in the bathroom, and I get a text message from an unknown number, and all of it is a picture. That's a mugshot picture, and there's a text message that says, is this the guy that you bought the headphones from, Officer blah blah? So I looked at the picture they sent me, and it wasn't even close to the guy that I bought the stuff from. So I text back, no, that's not the guy. And that was it. That was the end of the whole thing. That was, 9 months ago? No, longer. 11 months ago. And I haven't heard anything back from the cops. I don't know if they got the guy or not, but it was a scary experience to say the least. We've never been in that type of a situation before. But here's what I will say. We learned an incredibly valuable lesson that day. And that lesson is, if you ever buy something from somebody on Craigslist, make them sign one of these. It's a very simple purchase agreement. We now make them sign that agreement. And basically what it says is, this is my property. I am selling it on my own accord. And once you pay me for it, it is now your property. And in there it also says, these items are not stolen, right? I bought them, again, on my own accord, and I am turning them over to you guys. I acknowledge that you are resellers of the product. So yeah, that was the experience, the one time that we almost went to jail as resellers, and it sucked. It was a scary experience, but I'm glad that we learned that lesson and learned from our mistakes, guys. If you're out there buying stuff, just protect yourself and make sure that you get at least something signed that says that the property is yours and that you're buying it free and clear. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment below. Thanks again, guys. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so, and we'll keep putting out videos like this. Let us know what you want to see, guys.
But until then, we'll see you next time. Later.